details of how things unfolded, a dramatic turn of events being witnessed in the India-Pakistan tensions last evening, with the United States President Donald Trump making a surprise announcement of India and Pakistan agreeing to a complete ceasefire, which he said was achieved through US mediation. Shortly after, both India and Pakistan separately confirmed that a ceasefire understanding had been reached between the two nations after the DGMO of both the nations held talks. But hours after this understanding was announced, Pakistan's treachery was on display yet again. Ceasefire violations were reported on multiple points along the LOC, including Araspura, Akhnur, Nowshera, as well as Nagrota and Udhampur. A blackout was also ordered in many cities in Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, as well as Punjab after explosions were heard and drones were sighted at these places. India has responded to the fresh provocation, shooting down Pakistani drones and retaliating to the Pakistani shelling. In fact, India's Ministry of External Affairs also called out Pakistan for repeated violations of ceasefire understanding, while asserting that Indian armed forces are providing an adequate response, and India called on Pakistan to take steps to address these violations.
For the last few hours, there have been repeated violations of the understanding arrived at earlier this evening between the Directors General of Military Operations of India and Pakistan. This is a breach of the understanding arrived at earlier today. The armed forces are giving an adequate and appropriate response to these violations, and we take very, very serious notice of these violations. We call upon Pakistan to take appropriate steps to address these violations and deal with the situation with seriousness and responsibility.
So this was the Foreign Secretary's statement confirming that violations have taken place. My colleagues Yavar, Mohit and Pavitra joining us on the broadcast with the details of first how the ceasefire understanding was achieved and the violations that have taken place last evening, and about how normalcy has been restored in multiple of these areas. Remember, a blackout had been enforced over the last 2 to 3 nights because of the continuous attacks that came in from the Pakistani side. And last evening as well, our forces were being extremely careful, ensuring that nothing is left to chance, nothing is left to this ceasefire understanding. So the forces were on full alert, and yesterday as well we witnessed that in just a few areas though there had been violations. What does this actually mean for the ceasefire understanding? We're going to be talking about all of that, getting the details as well. But remember, the NSA had also been extremely clear as far as India's stand is concerned, saying very clearly that war is not the option for India, because India is not going into war. India was very, very clear about this.